This is the Bar Exam Pub Trivia Podcast.
Oh, hell yeah!
20 questions, 105 possible points.
I have an answer to your question.
General knowledge categories like
literature,
music,
sports,
history,
TV, geography,
and many more.
all in a pub trivia game format.
I'm paying thousands of dollars for education. Apparently, I don't need to.
I have a question for you. Are you ready to pass the bar?
Hell yeah, I'm ready.
This is a heavy B production.
This is the Bar Exam Pub Trivia Podcast. Welcome back. We host this game we're about to play 4 nights a week in front of live pub drinking audiences. And we bring it to you at your fingertips on the World Wide Web and social media, so you can play at work, you can play at the commute, or just get ready for your next pub trivia night. Whatever you want to do, we make it available to you for your listening pleasure. My name is Edge, the man with all the answers. Just don't ask me for advice, because we might get off to a real bad start. A lot of poor decisions on this resume, and that's, Jason, why I'm here hosting trivia tonight also.
You've reached the pinnacle of your career sitting here next to me.
Joining me today, our measuring stick, we like to call him, Jason
Young. That was my
Young.
nickname in college, measuring stick.
Yeah, he's going to be playing alongside you, so if you want to compete tonight, that's awesome. Jason's here for that. So what is the Bar Exam? It is a pub trivia game consisting of 20 questions divided into 2 halves, and each half is then divided into 3 parts. Each part contains 3 questions. So before a 3-question part begins, I read out 3 categories, and then I ask a question pertaining to one of those categories. And normally when we're at the pub, we would play a song. But since we're trying to keep things moving with this game, and since, quite honestly, I have no copyright justification, I'm no Jay-Z, we are going to play this sound effect for you.
Which feels a little Jay-Z.
It's about 12 seconds long.
Okay.
Gosh. So that is pretty quick. If at some point during the game, if that's too quick for you, just pause the podcast. It's no big deal. We're not pausing it for this guy, though.
No.
He's got to play the whole thing straight
seconds.
through. So really, it's that simple. You submit an answer before the end of that sound effect. Here is the rub of the game, though. Each player is given a value of 6, 3, and 1 before each 3-question part. You must wager each of those values once per part. So you can score 10 points per part at maximum. We only give you points for the right answers. There's no penalty for guessing. But once you wager a value, right or wrong, you cannot wager it again until the beginning of the next part. So if you wager 6 right off the get-go in part number 1, right or wrong, your 6 can no longer be used for the next 2 questions. You would have to wait to use a 6 again when we get into part number 2. It makes more sense as the game goes along. Doesn't it, Jason?
Yes.
I swear it does. If you're totally lost, you can always check out our website, heavybtrivia1.com. We also are on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Bar Exam, PT Pod. We have the scoring info there. We also have the actual scoring sheets that we use at our live games, and that should help you visualize things a little bit more. And look, you know what? If you don't want to keep score, if you want to create your own scoring system, then to hell with mine. Who cares? Just have fun with it, right? Jason's here if you're trying to compete, but if you don't want to compete, you just do you, man.
Come at me.
There is no problem there. If you are competing, though, consider these rules. This is normally a team game. So you can talk out answers with your team. Just don't scream answers out. Doing that habitually can really ruin this game, so don't do it. Once you hand your answer in to your host or scorekeeper, the answer is final. You can't give it back or get it back once you give it to your host. And finally, this is a brain game. This is not a cell phone game, which really upsets Jason tonight.
Yeah, it does.
I'm telling you that. But if you're looking up answers on your cell phone, internet, first of all, you're a loser. I say that all the time. But second of all, you're cheating. So just don't do it.
You're cheating me.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
And if you're caught cheating, you should be disqualified by your host. And if you're cheating or not, just know you're a liar if you're not caught. I do want you to do me a favor, though, if you're not caught cheating. Go home, look at yourself in the mirror, and just say, hey, man, I am not as smart as I think I am. Okay? Once again, my name is Edge. I will be your host this evening, and all decisions I make are final. Jason, are you ready to pass the bar, buddy?
Let's rock.
Here we go. Your first 3 categories tonight are food and beverage, internet and tech, and movies. Once again, food and beverage, internet and tech, and movies. Let's get fired up with question number 1. And again, don't scream out answers. Some of these questions are easier than others. What's the name of the style of ice cream flavor that features strawberry, chocolate, and vanilla? Once again, what's the name of the style of ice cream flavor that features strawberry, chocolate, and vanilla? Good luck. Well, that's pretty long, actually. I'm sitting here, waiting for it to end, and that's going on. Of course, it is a lot easier on this side of the microphone.
It is.
I know that.
And that was an easy question.
We like to throw out a softball to get the game going here. What's the name of the style of ice cream flavor that features strawberry, chocolate, and vanilla? The correct response is Neapolitan. Jason, you want to show your answer to the audience
there?
there?
You go. Neapolitan, 6 points for me.
So he's got that one right. He can't wager 6 now for the next 2 questions. He can only wager a 3 or 1. And had he gotten that one wrong, it would still be the same way. He burnt his 6 on that question right there. Second question to part number 1, keeping the game moving right along. See if we can keep the good times rolling for Jason here. Within 1, Wikipedia formally launched the online encyclopedia January 15th of what year? Once again, you can be within 1. Wikipedia formally launched the online encyclopedia January 15th of what year? Good luck, everybody. It's a tough one. Everybody uses it. It's hard to believe it's this old, actually, when I tell you the answer
Are you
here.
judging? You're looking at my answer.
I mean,
and
I have
judging me.
I have the luxury of
Right.
looking at your answer, which is
know.
nice. Within 1, Wikipedia formally launched the online encyclopedia January 15th of what year? The correct response was the year 2001.
Okay, forget that.
So 2000, 2001, 2002 would have been the correct response. So, Jason, just for sake of the game, we don't have to do this the whole game. You got it wrong on that one. What did you wager?
I wagered 1.
So he only has a 3 now remaining. If
Right.
you are competing, he only has a 3 remaining in this part. Here we go with your final question to part number 1. It's a movies category question. What movie coined the phrase, "Say hello to my little friend"? Boy, that is a bad impression right there.
It's awful.
I'm just going to say it this time. What movie coined the phrase, "Say hello to my little friend"? Good luck, everybody.
Go ahead and give myself the points for this because I'm confident in that one.
One of the all-time classic movies. I think, in fact, in that, I don't know what it was, Internet Movie Database or Rolling Stone, one of the top 10 movies of all time.
Sure.
The movie coined the phrase, "Say hello to my little friend." It was Scarface. And, of course, Scarface was Al Pacino in that movie. All right, so, Jason, what'd you get in that first part?
So I got my 6 correct and my 3 correct. So I scored 9 points in the first block.
Pretty good first block here. Let's go on to part number 2 now. Famous firsts, music, and television. Once again, famous firsts, music, and television. Here is your famous firsts category question. What TV network became the first to broadcast via satellite in 1975 with their airing of the famous Thrilla in Manila boxing match? Once again, what? Okay, take it easy.
Yeah, I'm
you
sorry.
Got it. You got it.
Sorry.
What TV network became the first to broadcast via satellite in 1975 with their airing of the famous Thrilla in Manila boxing match? Good luck, everybody. It is a tough one.
It's really tough. Especially since I wasn't alive.
Yeah, that's true. It's hard to believe this network is actually that old. What TV network became the first to broadcast via satellite in 1975 with their airing of the famous Thrilla in Manila boxing match? You were only right if you wrote HBO.
Wow.
The home box office.
Yep.
All right, music category question. Didn't go well for Jason on that one. I can tell you that, folks. Getting Jiggy with Miami and Wild Wild West
Okay.
are songs written and recorded by what rap and movie star? Once again, Getting Jiggy with It, Miami, and Wild Wild West are songs written and recorded by what rap and movie star? Good luck, everybody.
Normally I'm awful at music, but this one was.
Yeah,
I feel good about this one.
Kind of like a little crossover one there for
Yeah.
you.
Nice.
You know, that's one thing you'll notice about this game the more you play it also. These questions vary in difficulty and are just random as hell also.
Yeah, awesome.
You never know when they're coming and when they're not, when you're going to get an easy one. Of course, it's all relative, I guess. Your music category question, Getting Jiggy with It, Miami, and Wild Wild West are songs written and recorded by what rap and movie star? You were only right if you wrote The Fresh Prince, of course, Will Smith. I am the judge and jury of everything. Would you have accepted Fresh Prince on that one, Jason?
I mean, yes.
Okay, we'll
Yes,
give it to you.
I
If you
would've,
said Fresh
but
Prince,
I wrote Will Smith.
If you said Fresh Prince, we will give it to you. All right, TV category question is the final question of part number 2. This is a tough one, man. This was a great show, though. for about 4 seasons. Christian Troy and Sean McNamara are plastic surgeons on what FX show that aired for 4 seasons? Once again, Christian Troy and Sean McNamara are plastic surgeons on what FX show that aired for 4 seasons? Good luck, everybody.
Right there, buddy.
Oh, how about that? Go ahead and give everybody the answer here, Jason. Christian Troy and Sean McNamara, plastic surgeons on what FX show that aired for 4 seasons? It was good for about 3 seasons and really went off the rails on that 4th season. It got weird in that 4th season. What is it, though? Go ahead and tell everybody.
Nip-Tuck.
Nip-Tuck is the correct response. And if you haven't seen it, it is worth a watch, man. If you're looking for something to binge on Netflix, I'm not sure if it's there. I'm sure it is. But all right, getting into your part 3 categories. They are sports, arts and entertainment, and geography. Once again, sports, arts and entertainment, and geography. Sports category question. First question of part number 3. Where did former NBA star Chauncey Billups play college basketball? Won a championship with the Pistons, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he did.
But where did he play college? Where did former NBA star Chauncey Billups play college basketball? Good luck, everybody.
See,
Wow.
You look, and then I feel like, oh, should I bet more? Should I bet less? Normally, you don't get to see everybody's answers.
I'll tell you what, man, that's a tricky one. That's a tricky one because he was a much better NBA player than he was college player.
Yes.
Sure. I mean, he went to the NBA, so he was a great college player, but he was a much better, made a much bigger mark on the NBA. Where did former NBA star Chauncey Billups play college basketball? You were only right if you wrote Colorado.
I should have wagered more.
Should have. Part of the Big 12 conference, I think.
At the time?
Yeah, back then.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was before 2012.
Yeah, that program is not as good
No,
as it
they're
was
not.
back
They're
then.
not. Arts and entertainment category question. He's on a roll over here, guys. The guy to my left. In what famous musical does the cast sing a song titled 525,600 Minutes? Once again, in what famous musical does the cast sing a song titled 525,600 Minutes? Good luck, everybody. All right, your arts and entertainment category question. In what famous musical does the cast sing a song titled 525,600 Minutes? You were only right if you wrote Rent.
Rent.
Which he did. Man, this guy's on a roll right now.
So this, thank you. This musical just celebrated a milestone. It's
What's
like
that?
Its 25th anniversary.
Is it really?
Yeah.
It's
Can't
not
believe
on
it's that
Broadway.
old.
Is it
No,
on?
no. It's on a national tour now.
Okay, cool. Is
Yeah.
it coming anywhere locally to where we are?
I think it was just in Morgantown.
Okay.
Like literally last week it was in Morgantown.
Cool. All right, geography category question. Based on population, this is the final question of part number 3, by the way. Based on population, what is the smallest state in America? Once again, based on population, what is the smallest state in America? Good luck, everybody.
Oh, God, I feel terrible about how I wagered in this block.
Boy, that's a good answer right there.
But it's not the one.
Although it's not correct. The smallest state in America based on population is Wyoming. Wyoming is the correct response. So,
Okay.
It is now time for your halftime question. The halftime question works a little differently now. This is your final question of the half, obviously. This question is going to have 5 correct answers. You're going to get 2 points for each answer you get correct. So you're going to have an opportunity to score 10 points during this halftime question. And normally, if we were at the pub, we would play 2 songs for this question. What we're going to do in this case, we're going to take a 2-minute break and give you that time to try and figure it out. Again, hey, if it's too fast for you, pause the podcast. Our boy Jason doesn't have that luxury.
No, I don't have a pause
All right,
button.
here is your halftime question. And again, I'm going to provide the link for you where we got this. Obviously, you can find anything to meet your agenda on the internet. But according to the National Center for Educational Statistics, 2016, we're going back a few years here. Name the 5 presidents that have the most schools named after them in the United States. Once again, according to the National Center for Educational Statistics, 2016 now, this was a study. Name the 5 presidents who have the most schools named after them in the United States. It's 4 years old, so we're going to give or take a few here. But you get 2 minutes. We're going to take a brief timeout. We'll be right back with half number 2 and your halftime answer. You're listening to the Bar Exam Pub Trivia Podcast.
Did you hear a mistake or wrong answer to a question?
Let us know about it.
Email the Bar Exam Pub Trivia Podcast staff at barexamPTpod@gmail.com.
Hey, it's Ed from the Bar Exam Pub Trivia Podcast. Want to give a shout out to our sponsors and let you know where you can play pub trivia live on location. Mondays, I'm in Buckhannon for Bar Bingo Night at Buffalo Wild Wings. Straight up bingo, but we play for gift cards. 5 games, in fact, throughout the night. 5 gift cards to give away. Check it out, Bar Bingo on Mondays in Buckhannon. We call the first ball at 6:30. Tuesday, catch me hosting live from the Rickside Bar and Grill in Bridgeport. Showtime at 7:30. And right now, we're running the bonus bingo promotion exclusively at the Brickside. So log on to HeavyBTrivia1.com for info on that. Top 3 teams for pub trivia get gift cards each night. Brickside, Lodgeville Road in Bridgeport. You can also on Tuesday catch Haas calling questions at the Ramblin' Root in Fairmont. Showtime starts at 7 o'clock. The Ramblin' Root located right there on Fairmont Avenue in downtown. Prizes for the top 3 teams there. Wednesdays, catch Haas again as he makes the trip to Buckhannon for pub trivia at Buffalo Wild Wings. It's an early game, starts at 6:30. Buffalo Wild Wings in Buckhannon. You can see it right from Route 33. Prizes for the top 3 teams in Buckhannon. Magic's Bar and Grill also hosts a game on Wednesday night with your host with the most, Rob. Magic's located on Middletown Road there in Whitehall. A newly smoke-free facility also, which is really cool. Game starts at 7 o'clock there. Check out Magic's on Wednesday night. Prizes for the top 3 teams. Thursday, we give the bar exam in Fairmont at the Derby. Probably my favorite place in the world. Really, I'm telling you. Greg is your host on Thursdays. The Derby, located on Virginia Avenue, right next to East West Stadium. Smaller joint, so get there early, get yourself a seat. Prizes for the top 2 teams at the Derby. Game starts at 7 o'clock. And then I'm back at it on Thursdays also live from Meager's Irish Pub in Bridgeport. Betancourt at the new Charles Point Plaza. Top 3 teams get paid, including a $40 gift card for first place. Great selection of beer, too, at Meager's. Check us out Thursday for the bar exam. Gets underway at 7:30. Email us at barexamptpod@gmail.com. Thanks for playing the Bar Exam Pub Trivia Podcast. We'll be right back.
Learn how to keep score by watching the tutorial and get official score sheets at HeavyBTrivia1.com. You're playing along with the Bar Exam Pub Trivia Podcast. Here's Edge.
You are listening to the Bar Exam Pub Trivia Podcast. We are back for half number 2, but before we get to that, got to give you your halftime question. Of course, for each one of these I read out that you get correct, you add 2 points for your score. Currently, according to the National Center for Educational Statistics, this is 2016 now. Name the 5 presidents who have the most schools named after them in the United States. Obviously, it's back from 2006. The link is provided right there below for you. So we may have some fluctuation here, but these are the answers we're going with. With 94 schools in America named after this president, John F. Kennedy tops the list. With 73 schools named after him, our third president, Thomas Jefferson, is second on this list. 53 schools named after our first president, George Washington. 52 schools named after Woodrow Wilson. And 45 schools are named after the 16th president, ended the Civil War, Abraham Lincoln.
God,
so,
I didn't pick Abe Lincoln.
Jason, show everybody what you got here.
I got Washington and Wilson right. Herbert Hoover, LBJ, and James Monroe incorrect.
Those aren't bad guesses, though, honestly.
Well, there's a James Monroe here in West Virginia, and a Herbert Hoover, which is why I picked that.
And you had 25 points going into that halftime question, so you got 3 of them right? Or 2?
I got 2 of them right.
So his total right now is 29 points. If you are playing at the office, playing at work, whatever, if you're playing with other people right now, you should tell everybody what you have. We always read out our standings at halftime. There's no standings to read out right now other than that Jason has 29 points.
That's right.
And then we hop right into the second half of Pub Trivia. The second half, we up the ante here now. You can wager 7, 5, or 3. So you can now score 15 points per part instead of 10. Okay, 7, 5, or 3. You can score 15 points per part. Here we go. Part number 4. First question, or first categories, I should say, the second half. They are movies, music, and literature. Once again, movies, music, and literature. It's kind of weird this is happening right now. Jason and I were just talking about this next film here.
Oh, boy.
Before we came on the air.
Oh, no.
The Academy Award-winning film Chicago features this actor as lawyer Billy Flynn. Once again, the Academy Award-winning film Chicago features this actor as lawyer Billy Flynn. Good luck, everybody. I think Jay-Z, I mean, I don't know that this beat is that good, but Jay-Z's good enough that he could probably put down a pretty wicked rhyme to this.
Right.
It's not that bad of a beat.
No.
It's not great.
It might be below Jay-Z, though.
Oh, way below. I mean, how low can you go? The Academy Award-winning film Chicago features this actor as lawyer Billy Flynn. You were only right if you wrote the handsome. Sexiest man alive by People magazine several times.
Yep.
Richard Gere. And Jason is off to a good start here, folks. Bet the max on that one. Got that one right. Music category question, a little bit tougher. I don't know if this one's up your alley. We'll see. It was certainly in your wheelhouse like when you were in high school, but I don't know. $3 Bill, y'all, was the debut album for this hard rock band, released in 1997. $3 Bill, y'all, was the debut album for this hard rock band, released in 1997. Good luck, everybody.
No.
Not it. That's a tough one, man. You really got to be into this music, I feel like. Although this band was definitely mainstream. $3 Bill, y'all. Debut album for this hard rock band, released in 1997. Limp Bizkit
Oh, yeah.
is the correct response. I think they had one about, like, hot dog flavored water right after that, too. They had some pretty cool names for their albums. Not much of a fan of their music, though.
I put
I won't
Nickelback.
lie. Yeah, Nickelback. Listen, that's a great default answer in this game. Let me just tell you that.
Yeah, sometimes if you don't have the right answer, the funny answer is just as appreciated.
Literature category question. Final question to part number 4. What Shakespeare play asks the famous line, to be or not to be? Once again, what Shakespeare play asks the famous line, to be or not to be? Good luck, everybody. My partner here, actually, young entrepreneur, owns a theater company that does a lot of Shakespeare work.
Yes.
Do you know the monologue, the whole monologue, to be or not to be, or what?
I know a lot of it.
Well, I'm not going to ask you to do it here.
Yes.
Because that would probably, if they're not bored already,
Right.
bore everyone to death.
They were asking these questions, and then this guy started doing Shakespeare.
What
I don't know,
Shakespeare
honey.
play asks the famous line to be or not to be? You were only right if you wrote Hamlet. So it is now time for our Part 5 categories. Moving this game right along, we're back into sports. Going to hit you with some TV and some history after that. Sports, TV, history. Here is your sports category question. Who was the first team Ken Griffey Jr. played for in the major leagues? Once again, who was the first team that Ken Griffey Jr. played for in the major leagues? Good luck, everybody.
I'm going for it. This is one of those, like, you feel like it's a trick.
It's not.
Okay, good.
It should. I think it's that easy.
Okay.
Ken Griffey Jr. started his career with the Seattle Mariners.
Awesome.
And that was back, I don't even know when, but it was a long time ago, man. All right. Keeping it going with your TV category question. I love this question. Used to love this show. What actor once had a quiz game show on Comedy Central where contestants could win his money? Once again, which actor once had a quiz game show on Comedy Central where contestants could win his money? Good luck, everybody. I mean, if you're a trivia fan, if you're watching
Sure.
this show, I'm sure you probably watched that show also.
Yeah.
Or listening to this show, however you're doing it. What actor once had a quiz game show on Comedy Central where contestants could win his money? This is the second question, by the way. At part number 5, you were only right if you wrote Ben Stein. That guy was smart, too, man. You think they gave him answers or like had like a series of like 500 questions or 300 questions that they'd give him? Because he was smart, man. I mean, he knew some stuff that was way out there.
Sure. Maybe he just provided them with like things he was comfortable with.
Yeah. That's not happening on this show, by the way.
Not at all.
Based on his score, I can tell you that. All right, history category question. This is a multiple choice question in a roundabout way. Within 1 year, Brown versus the Board of Education, which made separate but equal laws illegal, was decided in which year? Once again, within 1 year, and it happened in the 1950s also. That's why it's kind of a multiple choice question. Within 1 year, Brown versus the Board of Education, which made separate but equal laws illegal, was decided in which year of the 1950s? Good luck, everybody.
Got these two for sure.
I mean, everybody knows this case, certainly. Everybody's familiar with the ramifications. It's hard to know what exact year it was in, though. A lot of people say 1955 on this one. Within one, Brown versus the Board of Education, which made separate but equal laws illegal, was actually decided in the year 1954. So 53, 54, or 55 would have been the correct response. And based on the sigh of disgust out of my partner here, you can tell that he got that one wrong, folks. All right, so final part is part number 6. Your categories are food and beverage, presidents, and science. Once again, food and beverage, presidents, and science. Here is your food and beverage category question. What major brewer was responsible for marketing Zima in the 1990s? Was it Coors, Miller, or Anheuser-Busch? Once again, what major brewer was responsible for marketing Zima in the 1990s? Was it Coors, Miller, or Anheuser-Busch? Good luck, everybody. I think Coors and Miller are together right now. They were not, though, back in the 90s.
Zima was nasty. I really...
I'll be honest, I never drank it.
I have no idea.
I never drank it, and I, in the 90s, was drinking a lot. I can tell you that. What major brewer was responsible for marketing Zima in the 1990s? You were only right if you wrote Coors.
Oh, man.
All right, President's category question, keeping this game rolling on. Within 2 years, how old was Abraham Lincoln when he was assassinated? Once again, within 2 years, how old was Abraham Lincoln when he was assassinated? Good luck, everybody. Again, an event a lot of people are familiar with, but how, the devil's in the details. How well do you know the details of this event? Within 2 years, how old was Abraham Lincoln when he was assassinated? He was 56 years old. So 54 through 58. Jay wrote 54 over here. Barely got in.
Barely.
On the grace. All right, your science category question is the final question of part number 6. After this, we will have one more question. I'll explain how that one works. But first, to science. What's the term for a wolf habitat? Once again, what is the term for a wolf habitat? Good luck, everybody. I think we've got him stumped over here, guys.
And it's my 7. Science is my 7.
I'll shut up. Let him think.
I mean, this is all I got, buddy.
What is the term for a wolf habitat? You were only right if you wrote a den.
Yeah.
A wolf den.
Yeah.
So there you have it. All right, now.
That was big.
It's time for your final question of the night. Final question works a little differently. You don't need to, or you do need to wager on this question, but it works just like Jeopardy. You can wager anywhere between 0 and 20 points. If you get the final question correct, I'll add whatever you wager to your final score. If you get it wrong, I'm going to take away whatever you wager from your final score. So there is strategy involved. Normally, this is the time where I would read out the standings to the bar so we could decide on how you would wager. If you're playing at the office right now or playing at home or the pub, whatever, wherever you're playing, you may want to pause it now and read out your standings. Otherwise, I'm just going to go ahead and ask this final question here, Jason. Okay?
I have 65 points, by the way.
Jason has 65 points. That's a pretty good game here. That is. I mean, I actually say 65 is a passing grade in the bar exam. Anything less, you usually fail for the evening. Anything more is a really, really good score. 65 is usually the midpoint. Here we go. Final question. On what day of the week did the first day of the millennium fall? Once again, on what day of the week did the first day, I should say, of the millennium fall. And normally we would play 2 songs here, give you a chance to think about it. Instead, we're going to take a real quick 2-minute break, and we'll be back right after this. It's the Bar Exam Pub Trivia Podcast. Thanks for listening.
Get your question on the Bar Exam Pub Trivia Podcast by emailing barexamPTpod@gmail.com. This is the Bar Exam Pub Trivia Podcast.
The Bar Exam Pub Trivia Podcast is recorded at the Brickside Bar and Grill, located on Lodgeville Road in Bridgeport. A selection of over 40 beers, award-winning wings, and the biggest open-air concert deck in Harrison County. Check out the Brickside Bar and Grill on Facebook or stop in and see for yourself. The Brickside, it's where the locals hang out.
Did you hear a mistake or wrong answer to a question? Let us know about it. Email the Bar Exam Pub Trivia Podcast staff at barexamPTpod@gmail.com.
Your final question is brought to you by Heavy B Productions. Good is only good until you've had better, and Heavy B Productions is the best. For information on event planning, interactive bar games, trivia leagues, video and audio production, and MC services for corporate events, weddings, and private events, check out Heavy B Productions online at heavybtrivia1.com.
You have about 60 seconds remaining to answer this question. 60 seconds. Good luck. You're listening to the Bar Exam Pub Trivia Podcast.
I want to give a big shout out to our Bar Exam Pub Trivia live game venues. Check out the Ramblin' Root in Fairmont on Fairmont Avenue, the Brickside Bar and Grill, Lodgeville Road in Bridgeport, Magic's Bar and Grill, Middleton Road in Whitehall, Buffalo Wild Wings, Northridge Road in Buckhannon, the Derby, Virginia Avenue in Fairmont, and Meager's Irish Pub, Benton Court in Bridgeport. Find information about all our live game Bar Exam Pub Trivia venues at our website, heavybtrivia1.com.
You're in the game with Edge on the Bar Exam Pub Trivia Podcast.
We are back with your final question on the Bar Exam Pub Trivia Podcast. Jason Young joining me here, and we asked Jason the final question of the evening: on what day of the week did the first day of the millennium fall? That would be January 1st, the year 2000. Now, I told Jason, after he had already submitted his answer, that I heard today that the calendar repeats itself every 7 years. I'm not sure if that helps, if it hurts, what relevance that has. I just heard that today.
This is a complete guess. I mean, I'm sure there is some math. There's some way to figure this out.
Oh, I'm sure.
But I don't know.
Yeah, we're just not to that level yet. On what day of the week did the first day of the millennium fall? January 1st, 2000. It was a good day because it was a Saturday. Oh. So, okay. Final question taken consideration. Add up your final scores right now. We would read out our final standings. Jason Young bet 15 on that final question, so he is going to finish today. A pretty respectable score, actually, playing solo.
Feel good about it.
Normally, you got 5, 6, 7 people on your team, and it's possible to get too many cooks in the kitchen in this game, but that's a pretty good score playing solo. He finishes with 50 points. So if you had more than 50, you beat Jason on the Bar Exam Pub Trivia Podcast. Any final thoughts before we sign off tonight, Jason?
This was a lot of fun. I'm glad you had me on to do this with you, and I'm excited to get more questions wrong next time.
Well, we got another episode coming up here shortly, so stay tuned. Got a question for us. You can email us at barexamPTpod@gmail, or you can reach out to us on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram at barexamPTpod. Listen to another episode on those aforementioned platforms. For Jason Young, my name is Edge. Thanks so much for listening. It is the Bar Exam Pub Trivia Podcast, Jason, so I figured we'd end with a toast today.
Here you go.
A glass is good. A lass is good. A pipe to smoke in cold weather. The world is good. People are good. We should all try to make each other better. Don't you think, Jason?
Absolutely.
Cheers, partner.
There you go, buddy.
Thanks for listening. See you next time, folks.
This is a Heavy B production.